good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. It's a cool night. I got my Patriots gear. How are you beautiful people doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Are you doing well? Are you doing fine? Are you excited? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing just well, guys. I'm doing just fine, just fine. Welcome, 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 welcome. How is your evening going? How is your day going? Let's get our theme song queued up just before we start. I'm so excited. It's a very exciting week for me. Some big things are going on this week with American Classic Agency. So I'm so excited. So for those of you who are tuning in, let's get the music theme song all queued up so we can start the show. So hope you are doing well on this cold night. Again, welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. And if you're from the 767, Whitey Kubuli, tall as her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Luca Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to start the show, The Roots of My Rise. Let's go. Let's start it. There we go, man. There we go.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? Good evening, good evening.
On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
How are you doing tonight? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Hope you're having a great week. Yes. Woo!
Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Man, good evening, everybody. It's a cold night. It's a cold night here in the South. And I got my sweatshirt, my hat, getting ready to go on this business trip, and I'm so excited, man. It's our annual kickoff of American Classic Agency. So excited for that. For those of you who are tuning in, welcome. There are some people who told me to send it to them, so I'm going to send them the live as we speak so that they can feel a little bit more comfortable and they can, they can find it themselves. But some people want it, so I'm going to send it to them right now. Let me share it for them right now. So I hope your week is going good. I hope I'm doing great. You can see I got my New England Patriots gear on intentionally, because guess what? We are going to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. Let me just put my doing my live. Let me just say I'm on live right now. I am on live, and I'm going to send it to some people so they can tune in if they choose to. If they choose to tune in, great. If they don't choose to tune in, it's also great. But I like to remind some people. Let's see, some people, just so they can come on for a minute and hear what I have to say. I'm actually going to send it to all my siblings as well, so they can get on. They can get on the live. Get on the live. Get on the live. Get on the live. All right, so I just put it up there. People are starting to come in slowly but surely. Carmen Joseph, how are you? Good to see you. Isabel Joseph Carbon, Sakafet. I see boy Antigua is in the house tonight, representing big time. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you beautiful people doing? Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I want to check something here to make sure that it's showing fine on some other platforms. I just want to double check just to make sure it's showing some other platforms. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's showing on some other platforms live. That is beautiful. As you can see, I don't have my American Classic Agency background. I have this kind of more cozy. It's a cold night, So we're going to get started in a second. I think I might play my theme song again. I might strum along. If you're in there and you're watching, say hello so I can give you a shout out. I'm going to send it to my sister who's not feeling well, she told me, but I'm going to send it to her because it just reminds her, she can take a look at it. So I'm sending it to her and whoever else wants to look at it. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence, man. How is y'all's week going? There's so much going on in the world. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. My church participated in a parade that the city where my church is in was in. It was really good to be out there, having a good time. Charles Robinson, what's up, man? What's up? Northside. Hope you're doing well. MLK Day is a very important day. It's for everybody. It's not just for African Americans. And I think sometimes people think it's just for black folk. No, it's for everybody. Because what did he say? He had a dream, right? That one day, little brown girls, little brown boys and white girls walk hand in hand and show love, right? So it's not just for black folks, man. It's for everybody. So I hope everyone had a great, it was a federal holiday. I hope everyone had a good day. With that, I think it's a big, I'm hearing some foolishness coming from Washington on that day. But you know what, though? I was 4 years old when Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. I was 4. And I wasn't here. I was in the Caribbean. But what I do know is that the man influenced a lot of people. He studied in Boston, where I grew up. He got his PhD from Boston University. So that's a great thing. But tonight, I have a great program in store for you. We're going to talk about some stuff. And actually, when I get to Florida, I'm going to be making a video with some of my colleagues to talk about compounding interest. I want you to riddle me this, tonight. If you guys look at what's scrolling, right? If you guys look at what's scrolling on the banner, it says, riddle me this. I'm going to ask you guys a question tonight. And, I want to see if anybody will be able to answer it. We're going to go for about 45 minutes tonight because I have a finance committee meeting tonight that I chair. So we won't go all the way up till 9. Maybe we'll go all the way up till 8. I'm not sure. But, it's one of those things. So those of you who are watching, say hello. so I can shout you out. If you're watching, I can give you a shout out. I can say hello. There are some people that just come in for a minute and they leave. Some people actually watch, and for those of you who watch, I thank you. I don't take it for granted. There's other things you could have been doing, but you decided to tune in and watch Tuesdays with Terrence. So that to me is very, 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 very important, and I thank you for your support. There's some people who watch incognito. They don't want anybody to know they're watching, but I can't shout you out if you don't say hi. I can't shout you out. You can watch it on YouTube, Bardui Financial Services. You can watch it on LinkedIn, Havers Bardui or H Terrence Bardui. You can watch it on X, formerly Twitter, HTB964. And actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'm actually going to make it live on Instagram, so people can watch on Instagram as well. I almost forgot that right there. So it's live on Instagram as well. So hope everyone's doing well. As you see, I got my sweatshirt, my New England Patriots. We're going to be in the AFC Championship game on Sunday in Denver. And for some reason, a couple of years ago when the Celtics won the championship in basketball, a lot of people say we had an easy road. What does the song say? It's not an easy road. We're traveling to heaven. But listen, man, let me tell you guys this. I don't care what the road is. As long as my team is winning and other teams are losing, I'm a happy camper. So this weekend, AFC Championship in Denver. I would have loved for Bo Nix to be playing, but he broke his ankle. And I think it's Jarrett Stidham, a former New England Patriot, will be quarterbacking them. I was more worried about last Sunday's game than this Sunday's game because of Houston's defense. But guess what? We took care of that. And you know what? The Super Bowl is in California. I might walk to California and be at the tailgate. I might walk out there. So for those of you who are watching, Robin Martin, welcome, man. I know you had some work done. I hope you're feeling better from your appointment. I hope you're doing better and feeling better. And for all of those of you who are watching, again, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I usually, let me get the seat up higher. I usually try to play the guitar, on the theme song sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I might play it again, to get you guys in the mood. I might do that, but let's double check, make sure that everything is fine just before we start. And I want to make sure that I got my, let's see, Bardui Financial Services. Let's see. Yep, it's on, and I'm live, and I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I'm on live, and I'm watching it. So we got all the stuff going fine here. So talk to me, man. How are you guys doing? Is it cold where you at? Go on your phone and check the temperature where you at, and tell me where it is. Tell me what your temperature is. I'm gonna check my temperature right now and tell you what my temperature is. I'm gonna do it. Let's see where I'm at right now. My temperature is at. Let's see. My temperature is at. Let me double check for you guys. Right now, the temperature is about 26 degrees. Tomorrow should be 43. Thursday 54, Friday 45, Saturday 26, Sunday. We're supposed to have a snowstorm Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You know what? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So all I can tell you guys is wherever you are, be prepared. Make sure you get your milk and bread. Why do people always get milk and bread when a snowstorm is coming? Why? I don't know. I have no clue. But everybody, Joey Logan is watching. Oh my gosh. Josephine Logan, one of my first clients when I went on my own back in 2007. Oh my God. Joey, you know what? Next year will be 20 years I've known you. And I ain't going to tell them what age you were turning back then because they'll know what age you are now. But this is an awesome, awesome, awesome client of mine, Joey. Back in the days, didn't have a clue who I was. I talk funny. But she was like, you know what? Let me see what this guy got to talk about. Remember I came with Nelson, Joey. Remember that back in I think it was April or May of 2007. I think it was. And you open your home, you allow. I didn't have a clue what I was really doing. And one of the things about you, I gotta say this, Joey, before we start. You gave me confidence. All right, you don't know that, and you gave me confidence. And the reason what you did, you allow me to articulate with my big mouth, boom, 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 talk. That confidence that I always had. But you know what? I want to thank you for 2007 till now. Got 19 years. Can you believe it, Joey? When I first met you, Joey, I was like 12. No, I'll be 62 this year. So welcome. I want to say hello to Delphina LeBlanc all the way in Ottawa, Canada. Welcome. I hope your training is going well. Congratulations to you on your new endeavors. I'm praying that goes well. So if you're watching and you say hello, I can give you a shout out. If you're watching and you don't say hello, I really can't give you a shout out. I don't care if you're on YouTube. I don't care if you're on Facebook. I don't care if you're on Instagram. I don't care if you're on doggone LinkedIn or X, formerly Twitter. There's 7. I'm streaming from 7 platforms. Bardui Financial Services on Facebook, Havers Bardui on Facebook, HTB964 on X, Havers Bardui, aka H Terrence Bardui on LinkedIn, Instagram HTB964 and Bardui Financial Services 64, and YouTube, Bardui Financial Services on YouTube. So you can't say that you don't have a way to get in touch with me. So for those of you who came in late, I'm going to play my theme song again as I channel. Let me turn this on as I get into the mood.
Please charge now. Connected to.
There we go.
Expander.
As we get into the mood, I'm going to play the theme song again. Hopefully it'll play. If it doesn't play, so I can queue up what I need to talk to you guys about tonight. I should get the guitar, huh?
Dominator made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am, from Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride, together with my journey, side by side.
Man, welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you're having a great day. Let's just take a look at the markets, see what happened in markets today. Let's take a look at markets. I know it was a little choppy this morning. Let's see what happened. Oh my gosh, the Dow Jones was down 870 points. The NASDAQ was down 561 points. And the S&P was down 143.15. Y'all's president wants to get Greenland, right? So it's affecting markets. So you know what? Guess what, though? There's this one client that I'm thinking about. I've been trying to get them to protect their TSP, and they keep procrastinating, and it's their right, okay? But all that gains that they had, we could have locked that in last year. You know, hopefully they will see that, hey, all this volatility, when you get older, you don't have a lot of time. So you got to protect what you have. So therefore, hopefully she will make a decision. I'll call her again this week, and hopefully she will get that in. And for the rest of those of you who are older, in your 50s, if you're over 59 and a half, you should be thinking about doing what we call in-service rollovers. And if you're no longer there at that company, what you need to do is you need to let me help you protect it. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I think today is a great segue. What happened in the markets today is a great segue for my topic this evening. A great segue. My topic this evening, as you can see, it says, riddle me this. I'm going to ask a question, okay? I'm going to ask a question. Excuse me. But I want to ask it very profoundly, okay? So those of you who are watching tonight, let me know. This is the question. It's a very simple question, right? It says, when interrupted, we're talking about compounded interest. When interrupted, how can the power of compounded interest be recovered? So if you've interrupted compounding, right, how can it be recovered? It's not a trick question. I've told some people what the answer to that is. And actually, with a couple of my colleagues in Florida this week at our annual kickoff, we're going to do a little video on that. Talk about that real briefly. It'll be 2 minutes or less, expounding on the subject of compounded interest. I think it was Albert Einstein that called compounded interest the eighth wonder of the world. So, for example, some of you have bank accounts, or you may have credit unions, or you may have, stock, bonds, mutual funds, 401ks, 403bs, all of those things, TSPs, all of those things, credit unions, you guys have those, right? And for some of you, you earn interest. Some of you, it's chicken feed. Chicken feed, in other words, meaning it's like nothing, all right? But guess what? Guess what? With the chicken feed, right? It's something that you're getting, right? So here's the question. How can you recover compounded interest if you've interrupted it? If any of you know the answer, put it in the chat. If you don't know, say, I don't know. How can you interrupt compounding, right? And then recover it? I want to know. There's a lot of people out there giving financial advice, a lot. I don't want to call any names, but there's some people on TV that you guys watch. There's a lady that you guys watch. There's one guy, who talks about Financial Peace University, and a whole bunch of other people doing stuff. And, in essence, they're giving you guys information of what you know or what they know. And some of you guys, you've drank the Kool-Aid. And I'm not mad at you. I always tell people I'm never mad at them for what they did based on what they knew or what they know. I'm never upset with people. But my question is, when you've interrupted compounding, how can you recover it? I want someone to explain that to me. So here's the scenario. I've talked about this a lot in the past. Here's the scenario. You have $100,000 in the bank. I'm going to use easy numbers to make it easy for you. You have $100,000 in the bank, 100 grand. You took $50,000 to go buy a truck or a car, cash. 50 grand. And you took out that 50 grand. So when you do that, I'm going to ask you guys a question. For those of you who are watching, riddle me this. You have $100,000 in the bank. Bank of America, Toronto Dominion, Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Capital One, Truist, such and such credit union. I don't care where. You have 100 grand in there. We're using a nice, easy number so we can make the math very easy for you, right? So you have $100,000 and you took $50,000 from your 100,000. Okay. Robin says it's 37 in the Queen City. Cold. So you took that money out. You took the money out, 50 grand, and you bought a car or you bought a truck or you bought, I don't know, something, some investment, something, whatever, right? $100,000 subtracted 50,000 is 50,000, right? Simple math, right? So you have $50,000 left in your bank account. So you started working hard again and saving every month or every week or every bi-weekly or every quarter, whatever you do, and you're saving and you start building your account again. You got a raise at work, and you start building that account again. So it was 50, it was 100, you took 50 out, you bought a car cash, because the car was probably more than that, but because you were paying cash, you got it for less because money is king, right? But guess what? Every week or every 2 weeks, bi-weekly or monthly or bi-monthly or every quarter, you're saving back. And you eventually, after, months or years, you've got your money back to 100 grand. With interest, whatever the interest might be. 0.01 or 0.25%, whatever it may be. Right? You had 100 grand, you took out 50,000 to purchase something in the store or a car or whatever it is. I don't care whatever it is you bought. My question to you is that how much money you do have left in your bank account? You said 50,000. You're 100% correct. Easy math. And then you start saving again. You get your little interest and you're saving again. And you build your nest egg back to 100,000. It may take you months, years, I don't know. But you're back to 100 grand. You got a bonus at work. You got a Christmas bonus. You got a raise. A loved one passed, left you an inheritance. You flip something and you have, so you're back up to $100,000. Now you might say, well, I'm back to $100,000. And you are 100% correct. You are back to $100,000. But guess what? You interrupted compounded interest. Remember, Albert Einstein said compounded interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? So compounded interest is interest upon interest, right? whatever you have and you get interest in. But guess what? When you've interrupted your compounding, how can you recover that? Well, you might say to me, well, you know what, Havis, you know what, H, you know what, Terrence, you know what, Mr. Bardui, you're back up to 100. I'm back up to 100 grand plus interest. Bravo. But guess what? Because you interrupted compounding, you should have had 150,000 plus interest because you took 50,000. So I teach these concepts to people, and I don't care what anybody says. People say, well, you save what you can, $25 a week or a month or $50, 100. I agree. But if life happens, and all you saved was that $100 or that $25 or that $50, that's all you saved, and life happened, boom, catastrophe. I just got a text at 4:25 a.m. 2 days ago from someone I went to high school with, and I hadn't seen that person in over 40-something years, probably. Yeah, no, probably. It was a fact. I don't even remember them because they graduated a year or two before me. We were at a funeral in Boston in May last year or April last year. I don't remember. One of my buddies from Dominica passed. I was an usher at his wedding back in 1986. That's how old I am. And I saw her at the reception. I had a jacket that had our alma mater on it, and she came up. She goes, "You went to Tech?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I went to Tech." We started talking. We exchanged numbers, and she asked me, "What do I do for work?" I told her, and she says, "Oh, I'm all set." That's what she told me. But 2 days ago, I got a text at 4:25 in the morning. I didn't see it till I woke up around 9 or whatever time I woke up. I don't remember. When I saw it, doing my daily, bathroom stuff, saw the text. This person asked me to pray for them because they were diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And they have jaundice. And that person is on my prayer list. I'm going to put them on my prayer list at church as well. But what I do know, I've had 3 clients, all in Virginia, one in Glen Island and 2 in Petersburg, Virginia. And I'm going back. One was going back almost 20 years ago, and the other one's going back like 2013. 23's 10, 14 years ago. One almost 20 years ago and one almost 14 years ago. And those 3 clients, not 2, those 3 clients. Pancreatic cancer. They were gone in 6 months. They were gone in 6 months. So my question to you all is that if you've interrupted compounding to buy your car and then you're trying to build it back and life happens, you may have insurance, but you may have to dip into your savings again and interrupt compounding again. What I teach people is that you don't have to interrupt compounding. When that person got back to 100 with interest, 100 grand with interest, they should have been at 150 with interest, using what we call OPM, other people's money. Now you may say, you know what, H, you know what, Havis, you know what, Terrence, you know what, Mr. Bardui, you know what, little boy, you know what, little boy, you're talking like the Dominicans would say, you're talking cochoni, you're talking nonsense. But if you live here in the continental United States of America, and I know in Canada they can do it too, but I'm only licensed in the United States. You will not interrupt your compounding. You could have bought that same truck for $50,000 and still be earning interest on 100,000 while you paid it back, paying yourself back. And the funny thing about it, a lot of people don't get that concept. Listen, a lot of people are not disciplined. Financially, a lot of people have flaws. I've said it 100 times. Most people I've met, they don't have a money problem. They have a spending problem. Now, some people do have a money problem because if you're not making enough income, you're not making enough. But a lot of people that I've met don't have a money problem. They have a spending problem. So if you're not disciplined, I have some clients who are so disciplined. I won't call their names. I can't. Although they are very disciplined and they've been like that for 40, some 50 years, I still, to certain degrees, don't trust them. I always want them to do what I'm saying because I know people get itchy fingers. You see, disciplined people don't really get itchy fingers. They're like, you know what? This is for that specific purpose. They don't. But some of these people, I still want them to not to interrupt compounding. So when you interrupt compounding, folks, you're cheating yourself and you can never make it up. You might say, oh, well, I can make it up in the stock market, my 401k, I'm a day trader, I got mutual funds, I do all of that stuff. True. And for people who do that, I'm not opposed to you doing that. Not at all. I'm concerned about, do you like losing money you don't have to, or losing compounding interest? Why, if there was a way for you to continue to earn interest on money that you took without interrupting compounding, it's a win-win situation. Why wouldn't you do that? No, I'm not calling you foolish. I'm just saying, why wouldn't you do that? But if you don't know the concept, you're not going to do it because you don't know. You don't know. A lot of my clients, I'm teaching them how to do that. So just like Uncle Sam don't trust you, you all think Uncle Sam loves you and trusts you. They don't trust you. That's why they take the taxes out. FICA, Social Security, state, federal, all kind of stuff they're taking, right? But my point is, and some of you are even getting a large return because you're giving the government a free loan. But my point is, why do that when you can continue to sustain your gains and not interrupt your compounding? Now you might say, tell me more. Well, if you want to find more, it's scrolling how to get in touch with me. I can show you how to do it. I have clients doing it right now. I have a client that I know in New York. They're in New York now. And back in the day, they've been my client for 10 years. This year will be 10 years. 2016. This year will be 10 years, I think. And if they had listened to me back then, they did to a certain degree. They put something in place, but they didn't do everything that I told them to do. They did not. And today that person sees the power of not interrupted compounding interest, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I did that back then, but I wasn't sure. And I wasn't mad at them. Because if you teach me something and I'm not sure and I don't trust you and I don't believe it's right or I think it's a scam, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But this individual now wishes they did what I told them 10 years ago. Now they did something and I'm proud of them. I always tell my clients when I leave, pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Folks, never interrupt compounding in your savings, in anything that you do. As a matter of fact, if you contribute into a 401k, I even tell you, don't contribute more than the max. If they're matching you, the max that they can match. If they're matching you 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, it's free money, But But if you want to save more, use alternative vehicles or alternative programs. And when you use the alternative programs that I'm talking about, you don't have to interrupt compounding. Your 401k, your 403b, your 457, your TSP, all those things are tax deferred money. Someone asked me a question yesterday, and I had to tell them, you know what? I don't recommend you do that because you're interrupting compounding, you're paying taxes, and you're paying penalties. Don't do that. Now, I said the choice is still yours, but you ask me a question, and that's my advice. Most people are not disciplined. Most people don't have a budget. Someone told me they have a budget in their head, and I laughed. Not at them, I laughed in my mind. You got to write it down. You got to write it down. So when you write it down, folks, you'll be able to. Now, okay, you got a raise at work. Continue to live like how you're making the money prior to your raise. And that money, put it into a concept where you don't have to interrupt compounding. I don't care if you're 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't care if you're 40s, 30s, 20s. Now, ideally, the younger you start, the better it is. The younger you are, the better it is. But the concept, why? How would I say it very nicely? Let me try a different way. I can't tell you what to do. Even my clients, I don't tell them what they have to do. I make recommendations. And the ones who listen to me, I keep talking about this client of mine who lost their job last month. The client is bawling, shark calling. I would love for them to be a guest on my show. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to interview him one time. You know how they do on CNN? You don't see the person's face. All you hear is their voice. And I'll alter their voice as well. I'll alter their voice so that people won't know their identity. People won't know their identity. Folks, it's a new year. It's a new quarter. It's a new season. Building wealth is a process. Wealth for some people is a thousandaire. For some people, it's millionaires. For some people, it's billionaires. But making sure that you never lose what you've attained or what you've saved is paramount, especially if you're trying to leave a legacy. Especially if you're trying, what's your legacy going to be? Some people think a legacy is just financial. No. It could be concepts. But you notice in the Bible, they always left something, and the oldest one got the biggest share, and they always try to leave something. Why don't we normalize that in 2026? Okay, you have a grandchild? You're a grandma now or a grandpa? Give that child the start that you did not get. Don't be mad at your parents. They did the best that they could. When I get a grandchild, I'm going to do the same thing. Give them a start I did not have. And then when I'm gone, the parents can sustain it, and then the child can sustain it. But at least teach the children well. Teach them from a very young age. Financial literacy is key. Folks, too many of us, I say it all the time, try to impress people we don't like with money we don't have for things we can't afford. There's some people, every time you see them, now, nothing is wrong with looking nice. You should look nice. When you go out in public, don't dress like a bum. And even though you don't have, dress up, take a shower, get your hair done, shave, look good. But don't be out there all decked out in designer and you have a big old wallet or a big old pocketbook. It got nothing in it. Be casual. You all see how Mark Zuckerberg dresses? T-shirts and jeans. He has no one to impress. Some of us we want to impress the Joneses. Do you know what the Joneses did to get where they are? Do you have any clue? Wealth creation and wealth strategy building is easier than you think. However, you have to sit down with a licensed person who can show you the concepts because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's wealth might be different. Everybody's wealth or the wealth they want to attain or acquire is different. And what you got to do, folks, is make sure that you're talking to the right people, showing you the right strategies, and you're not interrupting compounding. It's one of my biggest pet. Sometimes they may change their mind or they don't listen. I don't get mad at them. I get frustrated, but I know life's going to happen. And then when life happens, I really don't feel guilty. I might pray for you. I might, wish you the best because I always want the best for everybody, whether you become my client or not. But there is a way, folks, that you can prevent interrupting compounding. Because if you have $100,000 in the bank and you go buy something that costs $25,000 or $50,000, you can still take out that $25,000 or $50,000 and still earn interest on that $100,000. There's ways to do that. It's called not interrupting compounding interest. And when you interrupt it, you're starting over. Because if you went to the bank and you took out 50 grand or 25 grand, when you build it back up, you should have whatever your balance is. What? 100 grand? Well, you should be 125 or 150. Why? You could do that. Why? You don't do it because you don't know how to do it. And that's okay. That's okay. All I can tell you guys is simply this, folks. I can show you these concepts. There's people out here telling you guys all kind of crap and you guys falling for it. But what I know is we talked about the financial foundation, right? It's a pyramid. Last week I talked about that and I showed you guys some illustrations about that. The foundation, every house has a foundation. And if that foundation is flawed, when a storm comes, the house will blow over or fall. But if it's solid, it might take some hits, but it'll stand. And that's what you want to do with your financial planning as well. So for those of you who have young grandchildren, start looking into doing that for them. Those of you who are not doing it for yourself, think about doing it. Start somewhere. Do what you can afford. Man, don't worry about other people. Don't worry about other people. I see it all the time. People are always worrying about other people, man. Always worrying about other people. Why? Why? There's no need to. Why? No need to. Take a chill pill. Relax. Easy does it. Everything worth having is built organically, brick by brick. All these get well or get rich fast schemes, people think like they can buy an investment today and tomorrow they're going to get a 10,000 return on it. No, man. That's not reality. That's the lottery. And the lottery, your chance is 250 million to 1 to win those different things. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just here to tell you how to protect your money. And for those of you who are out there doing all those different things, I don't even have a problem with that. I want to get that portion of your money that you don't ever want to lose. The portion of your money that you don't ever want to lose, that's the amount that I want. I don't care if it's your 401k, your 403b, your 457, your TSP, a CD, a checking account, a savings account, a mutual fund. I don't care what it is. I want to protect that portion that you never want to lose. Call me the safe money guy. The safe money guy. Stop interrupting compounding, folks. There's no need to. Stop doing that. There's no need to interrupt compounding. Like tonight, it's cold. I got my Patriots gear on, my Patriots hat. But you know what? Tomorrow is payday for you. Put aside $25. Huh? Put something aside. Something. Something. All you can afford is $25 a month. Do that. 50, do that. 100, do that. 500, do that. 1,000, do it. Because there's going to come a rainy day one day. And while you're doing that, you never want to interrupt your compounding. Stop doing that. People who do that don't know any better. But there's a way. You want to learn more about it? Hit me up. Let me show you. Let's create a plan for you so you don't have to ever interrupt your compounding. Too many people, their priorities are skewed. And I don't feel bad or sorry for people whose priorities are skewed, but they don't want to learn or they don't want to take advice. Nah, continue going down the road that you want to continue. The straight and narrow road is the road I'm on for you. I want to protect it. Straight, not this road. I want this road, straight and narrow. Folks, protecting your income is key. A lot of you are not doing that. If you get sick, like my friend from high school who texted me at 4:30 in the morning earlier this week, I think it was, I told him they were in my prayers, but that's all I could do for them. Because last year when I ran into them, I told them what I did. But right now I could have been saying, hey, let's get some living benefits for you. You see, critical illnesses, you don't control that. You don't know when that's going to happen to you. You don't. So it's paramount for you to make sure that you put the right programs in place. Some of you love banks. All right. You can keep some in the bank if you want to. But that's the way you want to keep your nest egg because it's not earning anything. So as I get off this live tonight and I head to Florida for my 2026 American Classic Agency kickoff, I want to leave you with these words of admonition. In 2026, be intentional. Be intentional about your savings. Change how you've saved. Change where you save. Remember that elite client I keep talking about, my A1 client? She was doing some stuff. She had money in the bank. She had this and that. But what she did, she started to listen to me. When she got laid off, 5 years in, I'm not worried about her. She ain't even worried because she know Terrence got my back. She sent me this great text 2 weeks ago, how she appreciates me and thank God for me. And this young lady, she's protected for a year. If an emergency happens, she can afford her commitments because she put her money where her mouth was. She listened to me. She didn't know me. She was a referral by her sister. I sat with her, and there's so many people I sit with, and I talk to. I educate, I pontificate. I'm not trying to regulate your money or tell you what you got to do. I'm just telling you, folks, in 2026, be intentional. Be intentional. Don't interrupt compounding. You want to learn how to stop interrupting compounding? Contact me. It's there. I'm not forcing you. The choice is yours. You want to learn some of these concepts? Let me show you. Some of you may have some health challenges, but you have siblings or children or grandchildren who don't have any health challenge. You can still do the same thing by not interrupting compounding, by saving that way. Some of you want to pass on legacies tax-free. Let's show you how we can do that. Let's show you how you can do that. I was talking to someone the other day, and I told them they need a trust because they have some assets. And some people, what they do is they're listening to everybody. Do your research, find a trusted advisor, someone that you believe, that you trust. Let them show you the concepts and just start where you can, what you can afford, and build on it. Tonight, as I close, I got to get out of town tonight. As I close, in 2026, I want you to stop interrupting compounding. I want you to protect your income. If you have debt, I want you to eliminate it. And like in Proverbs, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Start now. All the mistakes that you've made, I forgive you. It's not your fault. Don't beat yourself up. You know what? Pat yourself on the back that you know of me, and I can show you. Again, if you guys notice, those of you who are my friends on social media, I never really solicit you. I don't. Someone told me when they hit remember when the Mega Millions was like 1.8 billion, they say, oh, one of the first thing I'm going to do is call you. I laughed. You're not going to call me. If you won't call me for $25 a month or $50 a month, you're going to call me for 1.8 billion. No, you won't. But there's some people I know for a fact they hit that 1.8 billion. I'm one of the first persons that they call because they're already doing what they're supposed to. So tonight, as we close, I want you to think about changing your strategy.
Battery low. Please charge now. Connected to virus alert scammer.
I want you to change your strategy, and I want you to be more intentional, and I want you to stop interrupting compounding so that you could make interest upon interest. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. And even from the 767, Whitey Kubuli, Tolly Zabadi, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and you're from Point Michel, a.k.a. La Pointe, St. Luke's Parish, you call me Luca Boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Good night, everybody. Good night. Hasta la vista. God bless you.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Be safe. The snow's coming. Stay warm. I'm out. Woo!
Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. Woo! The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Hasta la vista, babies.